So today we're talking about my rank 5 Ascended Spider-Punk. This is my 9th rank 5 champion, and I believe like my first science one, although I don't even remember at this point. I think it was my first science. And science was a hard class for me to pick, and it lucked out for me because I didn't have to pick this one. I had my girlfriend pick 2 of my rank 5s from the last sale, and she picked Spider-Punk and Silk of which we'll be getting a video later probably. But Spider-Punk is a really fun one that I'm glad that she picked, and I kind of had a feeling she would. But I use this guy a lot, and I used to play him a lot in Alliance War. Now that he's rank 5, I might start bringing him back to War. But we're going to be taking a bunch of gameplay on the beta server today just to get this video out quickly before I go on a trip for a vacation for a week and I won't have time to upload. But one more thing I want to point out before we get into the gameplay is in all of these fights, he's going to be a little bit weaker than if he would be in BGs, because in his abilities, if you're starting a fight in BGs, you're going to start with 150 crowd. And of course, none of the beta server fights are actually in BGs. These are BGs example fights. They are not actual BGs fights, but in a real one, you would be getting the 150 crowd boost at the start of the fight, which helps him out significantly. So, we're going to start against Solvark. And Solvark is a really interesting defender because this is a guy you need to try to take with physical damage that doesn't come from landing hits. Because you need to be able to bypass both the fact that he doesn't like taking energy damage, and also the fact that he's got a bunch of armors that are going to reduce your damage, and then make it to where your crits don't do any additional damage as well, so you can't rely on a character who's trying to crit either. But Spider-Punk, he's going to do his main source of damage in physical damage, and all of that comes from the ruptures you're just going to place on the opponent, and just keep stacking them, keep baiting Solvark's special 1, which he wants to do more often because of his encore passives you place on him, and then he's just going to keep placing ruptures on himself and just keep taking his own health down. All you need to do from there is just keep up your physical vulnerabilities to increase the damage, and then drop special 2s as you get them. And there, we just use a special 1 to close out the fight. So, next up we're going to go fight Arnim Zola, and Arnim Zola is in a bit of a similar boat to Solvark, where you need a specific damage type to take him, and in Zola's case, you need to have something that's going to bypass his armor and crit pen reduction, just like Solvark, but you also need to not do a bunch of damage in single hits or single bursts, because he will be capping it with his 10% damage cap. And you also need someone who's able to use the heavy counter, which, because of Spider-Punk being able to get his stun on the evade, you can get that very easily. And even if you don't have the evade ready, he does dash back far enough to where you can get a heavy counter. If you just dash back after taking a blocked hit and then going for a heavy, you don't have to chain it from your heavy stun. You can just counter his heavy normally, and then it will pretty much always work, depending on what attack Zola used before he charged his heavy attack. So we just keep him taunted, keep him dropping his special 1s, and as he just gets more energized, then he's just going to keep dropping that special 1 more, which is fine for us, because we can just keep punishing him with the ruptures. So go ahead and evade into my special 2. Do the evade first so we can get a bit more crowd. Again, if you're in BGs, you probably don't need to worry about that, because you have already hit 300 crowd at that point. But for us, we do want to build up a little bit more, and then I'll just go ahead, drop a heavy attack right there. It doesn't really matter, because he didn't get enough charges, but heavy attack easily, we can go ahead and kill him that way. And that's the Zola down in around a minute. Again, all of these fights should be faster if you're in real BGs, assuming the nodes aren't hindering you or anything. And yeah, we'll go ahead and fight Onslaught next. Spider-Punk is not metal, and if we continue to just keep him dropping special 1s, we can get all these dexes, which is great, because we're able to stack up a lot of crowd when we dex in his special attack. And so I'm just going to keep him dropping special 1s, which he wants to do, not only from the taunt we place on him, but also the encores act as a taunt for that specific special attack as well. So we're able to keep him dropping special 1s as often as we want to. And then, as long as they just keep getting the crush on me, then we're just going to keep farming from willpower, and then I'll just eventually kill him. Going to go for an evade into a special 2 here. We're going to almost lose our physical vulnerabilities, but we do get them. And then there, I landed a crit, so he continues to place the narrow shocks on me, but he's also almost dead now. And yeah, Spider-Punk, he does a lot of damage. After that first special 2, and you keep stacking ruptures from the Sig ability, dude, you're taking the opponent down very hard and very fast. And he's just a very versatile BG's champion, because as you can see, he's taking a lot of different defenders very well, and they don't all have to be Mystic either, which is pretty important. We're going to go fight Jean Grey here, and Spider-Punk doesn't necessarily do anything to make Jean Grey easier, but he does like dexing special attacks. You're going to get crowd from that, And it helps to force Jean Grey to try to spam her special 1 a lot, because then you're prepared and ready for the decks and stuff, and if she just randomly drops a special attack when you're not ready for it and you're inverted and stuff, you can easily mess up at that point, but Spider-Punk making her want to do it consistently is going to help out a lot with that. We are going to get these exhaustions on us. We are going to suffer from inequity from those exhaustions, which sucks, but at the end of the day, it's still fine. We're still going to do a lot of damage to get a decent score from this. So I'll go ahead and do it and evade into a special 2 after I drop my heavy and save my physical vulnerabilities. And then I'll go ahead and do the down, up, up, and we'll do the full combo there. Again, our ruptures have a little bit reduced potency because of inequity and stuff, and we do have to take a little bit extra time to kill her than against some of the other defenders we've seen so far, but I can go for a special 1 here, and it actually doesn't kill her. I shouldn't have dropped it. I probably should just continue hitting her and go for another special 2. But we do finish her off with just a little bit of a combo afterwards, and then Jean Grey goes down there in 73 seconds. So, could be faster, honestly. It's not like an amazing time, but you can absolutely win rounds off of that still. Now we're going to go fight Deathless Thanos, and Punk is one of my favorite non-Mystic Deathless Thanos counters, because Energize is just helpful for Punk, because you want them to be dropping their special 1s and just constantly baiting and punishing them, because then you're just going to keep punishing them with the Encore passives and placing Ruptures in their place. And he makes it very easy to just bait those special 1s. He doesn't have to hit the opponent a lot to do damage either, which is very good, because we can just place the Ruptures via Thanos just dropping his specials, and then whenever the specials ends, he's just going to place a Rupture there. So we don't need to use a lot of our actual hits if we don't need to. But of course, I'm just going to keep dexing the special 1s. It's going to give me a bunch of crowd that way, and I'll just drop my special 2 as I get it, and then let the Ruptures do the work. And Thanos is just going to start melting, as you can see here. He's losing a lot of health there. I can go for a heavy attack here. We're going to go ahead and refresh all of our stuff and let him place another Rupture on himself after his special 1 right there. And then we just need to go ahead and get one more opening, and then the Ruptures are basically finishing him off. We'll go ahead and place one more down here right after that special 1, and then you can see the fight is very much over at this point. So there goes that fight. And then we're going to move on to fight some Mystics now, actually. I did put the Mystics later than the other defenders, because it's important that you see some non-Mystic counters that Spider-Punk is good for sure, as well as Mystic. But we're going to go fight Kindred here, and he's kind of perfect for Kindred. You want to use a Spider-Verse champion for Kindred anyway, because he is going to give you an extended pause when you counter a special. And then Spider-Punk has very good light attack reach, so you're able to get the punish by using a light attack instead of a medium. And not every character who has to punish with a medium is able to get it in time, because sometimes mediums will take a lot longer to actually perform the attack of compared to light attacks. And then I'm just going to go ahead and keep hitting him a lot to get close to 3 bars of power, but then drop my special 2 right before it, and then place the Ruptures on him, and then we'll go ahead and just drop a special 1 to break out the root, which I should have very easy access to because I'm right here. And there, for some reason, my light attack, I don't know what happened, it just didn't work, so I ate a couple hits, but we didn't trigger any degens because we were able to keep his charges down very easily because we have the extended pause and stuff. So yeah, I mean, that could have been like a full health fight if everything went better, but it is what it is. Now we're going to go fight Sasquatch, so let's go fight the biggest BG's health pool we can. This is actually an A1 Sasquatch. A2 Sasquatches exist, but even seeing a rank 5 A1 Sasquatch is kind of rare, so I'd say this is kind of fair. Because he's not like a commonly ranked defender, but with Ascension, he definitely could perform better on BG's defense than he's given credit for. I'm kind of surprised we don't see more Sasquatches than we currently do. Because I am surprised that we don't see more Sasquatches than we currently do, because I think this guy can actually be a nice stone wall on defense with how the meta is shaped out. But Spider-Punk is going to be very good against him, of course. It's a Science versus a Mystic. You're going to keep making him drop special 1s. We're Rupture immune, which is nice there. But this guy wanted to be annoying and just hit me with a walk-up light attack, but it's fine. I dropped the special into block, because you can still place the Ruptures through the block, it's fine. He's also taking forever to trigger Wrath. It goes all the way to 12 before we do so, and then we finally remove his damage cap and stuff like that. So we can go ahead and start wailing on him here. Let him drop those special 1s, he'll just Rupture himself to death, and then here we're just going to go ahead and drop my special 1 and the Ruptures early, do some burst damage on those hits that is equivalent to what the Ruptures would have done before they would have expired. And then, yeah, Sasquatch goes down there. 66 seconds. Could be better, could be worse. And again, this isn't real BGs. We would have started with higher crowd if we were in real BGs. So this is Nico. And Spider-Punk is interesting for Nico. Basically, you want to let the buff immunity fall off, and then just keep her dropping special ones, let her just rupture herself to death from that. The problem is, if you run the Spidey 99 relic, which you can see I am, you need to make sure to not use the one that makes you immune to a dex buff if you are going to be taking Nico often, because we were immune to the dex from the relic, and then we got a poison on us from it. So if you're worried about taking Nico with Spider-Punk, then you probably need a different rune or a different relic entirely if you're going to try to do this matchup. Otherwise, it really doesn't matter. Just try to take the poison damage, or if you're not worried about it, then yeah, it just kind of sucks, but you can still use the relic to your advantage for other matchups. So I'm just going to wait here, get an opening, and then we'll go ahead and kill Nico with just a couple hits. All the physical vulnerabilities and stuff make her hit damage pretty good, and then we can go ahead and finish her off just like that. So all that done, and then we're going to go finish the video fighting the current Coliseum Mojo, because I wanted to see how well he'd do for this fight. I think, yeah, he was tagged. Obviously, you can only take an Apex Coliseum fight with a tagged champion, but against Mojo here, we're going to keep him dropping special ones a lot from the Encores, which is really nice. And this fight goes decently well. We're going to take down 16 bars, which is not exceptional, but it's very, very serviceable and something that's pretty decent, especially with how good Spider-Punk is at fighting Mojo in this case, because, yeah, you're going to get him dropping special ones very often, so you don't need to worry about dexing a lot to bait them out. And then there we still trigger dex, but we can also trigger the immunity from the relic. So there's an example of where it's good, because then you would get a degen on you. But this Mojo also gives you a node where if you knock him down, you place degens back on him. So it's not like that bad if you do in this scenario. But yeah, we're going to go for a special 3 first, because what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to increase the duration of all my ruptures by 25% for the rest of the fight. You can use this once to get that bonus, and then it also places 3 ruptures down and gives you a bunch of crowd. So it's pretty good for longer fights, and Coliseum is absolutely considered a longer fight. We are taking a lot of damage because I'm just screwing up a lot, but we're going to be kind of locked in at some points because we're going to get really low at health and then take down a lot of his health while we're very low. But for now, I'm just going to keep him dropping his special ones, and then when we get to special 2, we'll just be doing a bunch of damage that way. Unfortunately, this node is going to make me alternate my special attacks, because you can't do 2 special 2s back to back, 2 special 2s back to 2 special 1s back to back, and stuff like that. You do need to alternate your specials, or else he's going to get an indestructible. And as you can see there, he gets it. We need to go ahead and drop another special to get rid of it, as long as it's not the special we used prior. And yeah, there we go. Went ahead and removed it all and stuff. So yeah, it's a bit annoying, and it means we're going to have to drop this special 1 here, but it's not that big a deal at the end of the day. It just means we're going to be taking a bit longer to kill him than we would normally. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a special 1 there. Burst damage is nothing crazy, because it's literally just the rupture damage that was going to happen that we couldn't see when we ended the ruptures. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take him down to the 5th health bar. And then at this point, I'm probably just going to go ahead and sign out, because it's pretty much the same thing from here. I just need to make sure to keep my physical vulnerabilities up. And if I get in the corner, it kind of sucks, but you reduce his attack rating a lot during a special 1, so that can help me save my butt a little bit if I do need it. And yeah, we're just going to keep baiting special 1s, dropping special 2s, and then special 1s myself, and letting Mojo start taking himself down. So yeah, I'm going to let the rest of the clip play out. Hope you enjoyed watching this one. Do let me know your thoughts on Rank 5 Spider-Punk as well, and then I'll see you in the next one.